All right. What's going on, people? Welcome back. Real Tough Talk. Stephen J. Ghost. We're going to jump into the next game. We got Street Fam versus UTF. Street Fam is coming in off of a loss, losing the Monarchs, as UTF coming in off of a loss, losing to Rep City. Now, the thing about that, they didn't have their starting quarterback, UTF, which Jeremy was suspended for his one-game suspension. And now you figure UTF will get back on board. They had a little issues last week without their quarterback. He's back. Their Johnny Rockstar winner. Definitely back at the helm. So I'm not really concerned about this team. On the other side, we've seen this Street Fam's offense struggle, led by Spaz. The offense have gone 1 for 12 this season. That's never a good thing. Hopefully, they get out of that funk, and they got a big addition. We're gonna see the former UFL League MVP, a guy who went to 2 consecutive championships, a guy who's been to the last 3 Final Fours in Grind Time Lou, signing with the Street Fam team, picking up Bo with them. So them 2 guys going to the Street Fam offense, and you got to believe that is a huge upgrade going on the team.
And it's a much needed one because, Spaz, trying his hand at coming back into the league. I don't think that he was ready to come back after not being in this league for a few years. So not to say that he couldn't do it, but you're not gonna expect to play well coming in after playing for years, So, he came in, he struggled, he made the decision to step down and let Lou step up and help his team. And hopefully it works out for him because it was much needed. Their defense wasn't that bad. Their defense wasn't really giving up that much points, but their offense couldn't score. And I think that was the main problem. You can't score in this league, you're not going to win. So I think that's why the decision was made to bring Lou into this team. And obviously, when Lou comes in, he comes in with Bo, who's another weapon that you add to that offense. They already have a significant amount of weapons on this offense, and they just added another one with Bo. They need this to work out. Hopefully, they have all the pieces to make it happen in this game.
The thing that you said about this defense, they're number 3 in efficiency defensively. They're in 3rd in efficiency, number 3. When teams step on the field to play them, teams are only scoring 31% of the time. That's 3rd. The only one who has a better efficiency percentage is Rep City and the Monarchs. As far as scoring, they're only giving up 13.5 points a game. You know what place that is? 4th.
It's pretty good.
They have a very good defense. Like you said, you are right. They have a very good defense. The problem was their offense. Their offense was only scoring 8% of the time. The offense is only scoring 3 points a game. They're scoring less than a touchdown a game. Definitely can't win that way. And what you think about UTF getting their starting quarterback, Jeremy, back?
And I think this was much needed for them because Jeremy, like I said last week, he's their heart and soul. He's the person that they play through. And without Jeremy leading the charge and being the one to pretty much lead this team, they fall apart. And you saw that last week. Not only were they not able to score the way that they normally would, but they kind of started giving up points on defense that they normally wouldn't. There's things that they wouldn't normally do that they end up doing in that game. And that's why you look at them and say, this is not the same UTF team. And that's all because Jeremy wasn't there on the field.
All right, we're going to jump into the game with Street Fam getting the ball first. And like I said, Lou makes his league debut. Lou with 3 passes in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down, Lou is blitzed by Puto. Those are both for a short game. Good blitz by Puto. Puto jumps it on time perfectly. He's good at this, bringing the pressure, but Lou is able to get the ball off. Third down, Lou on 4 runs, throws the Bo in the gap. Bo makes a catch over Nunu in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Shot gets the extra point, 7-0. His first drive as the Street Fam, quarterback, he scores. That is a great play by you, Lou, former league MVP. Definitely making it here. nothing else you can say less about Bo. Bo is a playmaker, heartbreaker, and he does both right here.
I like that. Playmaker, heartbreaker. That was a cool one. I give you that one. But my thing is, Nunu, young defender, doesn't understand what Bo can do out here. Bo is a person, as short as he is, he has some hops for his size. So he's able to go upstairs and surprise Nunu with that great catch over his head. So you got to be aware that, you know, if you're coming, you got to put a body on Bo. He doesn't do that. He gives Bo the opportunity to make the catch, and that's exactly what Bo does to put Street Fam right on the scoreboard with their first score here.
UTF gets the ball back. Jeremy with 3 passes in the gap for a nice game, getting to the 1 yard line. 4th and goal. Jeremy throws the Vito in the front of the end zone. Vito doesn't slide over to get to the world. Turnover on downs. UTF gets stopped. This is a big mistake. Vito is one of the last remaining guys from the original UTF team.
Yeah.
He has to know to make these plays. He would not be on the offense if he couldn't make these plays. And Jeremy gets frustrated with him, saying that you got to help me out, go on the spot. Vito does it, and UTF turns the ball over.
And that's unfortunate. That's not a way that you want to start your game, knowing that your quarterback wasn't here, you're struggling last week, and you're continuing the bad play, the struggle in this drive here. They were right at the 1 yard line. This is supposed to be a simple, routine touchdown that ended up turning into a turnover based on miscommunication. They can't afford this, especially with a revitalized Street Fam team that feel like they can beat you now. That's exactly what they feel right now, knowing that Lou was able to get them in the end zone on their first drive. This is not a good look with your response here.
If you look here, Twan is on the sideline on defense. I wanted to point that out. We'll talk about that at the end of the game. Street Fam is going to struggle to move the ball any further, and they're going to end up punting. UTF gets the ball back. Jeremy with blocking from G, runs on the sideline for a decent game. Second out, Jeremy on 4 rush, throws Zeke to Yomi in the back of the end zone, knocked away by Jay. UTF can't get any closer, and they're going to have to punt. Listen, this Street Fam defense is pretty good. Jay is a champion, so he knows what Jeremy likes. He saw Yomi in the back of the end zone. He's able to make a big play. This is a big defensive stop, forcing UTF to punt. They stopped them twice on their first 2 possessions. That's a great defensive stand.
And that's one thing I could say that you can give Street Fam, regardless of what their bad offense in the first couple of games overshadowed their defense. They were able to keep teams from scoring most of the time. So they're showing that here. Nothing that changed on their defense, even though their offense was able to score on their first drive, it doesn't change that they're able to make their second stop on defense. And that's one thing that people got to understand. This team has some playmakers on defense that know how to lock up, and they're able to make yet another stop in this game.
Jay, Shannon, Bo, B-Roy leads the charge. It's a very good team. Herbie making a return. Like, this is a very good defensive team. Street Fam gets the ball back. 3rd down after 2 short passes. Lou throws the ball in the gap. That's going to be dropped. UTF gets flagged for cursing 15 big yards. 4th down, Lou throws the ball in the gap for a short game, but Juice gets flagged for the holding. 5 yards replayed. Now, what do you think of the call?
And I think that this was a clear holding. These dudes, Bo and Juice was talking back and forth with some guys on the Street Fam team, you know, talking smack back and forth. But then he gets caught on the defensive side, and he has to hold. Clearly, he got beat here. I get the instinct that you hold to prevent a big play, but that shows that you were slow on that step right there, and the offense was able to beat you to get that hold in the first place. You can't afford to give up plays like this and give this offense another opportunity.
After getting the 1st down, Lou goes deep to Andy in the back of the end zone. Short, picked up by Juice. Juice runs it to the 45-yard line. 4 now. This is the plays you choose to make. And I told Juice, I think Juice needs to be more of a leader and less of a hot hand. You don't need to talk. Your talking is you're talking more than you're playing.
Yeah.
Now I see his play catch up to his talk. Juice is a very underrated skilled player. Very underrated. Has clear tackle abilities, have definitely ability to dominate the two-hand touch game. The problem is his consistency, which you saw what happened when he was talking, he got beat. That is his issue. He gets so caught in the talking and less on his craft that he doesn't dominate the way he should, but he makes a big play here, huge interception by Juice to slow down this Street Fan momentum.
And that's the way to step up. You know, you made a mistake and you're able to you know, pay it back and forth with that interception, getting your offense back on the field. You know your offense is struggling, so they need their defense to make stops, and that's exactly what they do. Lead them with Juice getting that big interception, because they gave up that first down with 2 penalties, with the cursing flag and the holding. They gave it the first down, giving a little opportunity, but Juice able to make a big play, getting the offense right back on the field.
UTF can't do nothing with the ball. That's going to take us into the half. 7-0 Street Fan.
And listen, this is not a good look for UTF at all. You're the defending champs, and you have a team that was struggling to score in the last couple games, beating you 7-0. They're not killing you, but they got you on donut. How does that feel? That shouldn't feel good if you're the defending champs, knowing that they're keeping you from scoring right now with your quarterback in the game. The fact that whatever's been going on the last week is pulling into this week. It's affecting their play, and it's showing in this first half, they're not able to score. That is not a good look. Yes, Street Fam has a good defense, but that's no excuse for you not able to put up points at all. They have problems, and whatever problems they had is leading into this week, and Jeremy needs to figure out what they need to do to fix it, because it's not looking good right now.
If I'm Street Fam, listen, UTF need this win more than us. UTF is supposed to win. They're coming off of a loss, so you know they don't want to have 2 losses in a row. So if I'm Street Fam, I have no pressure on you at all, and we have the weapons on this team to win this game. 7-0 is exactly what we want, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to shoot out with this team. We're trying to stay consistent and keep them against the ropes. We're going to jump into the second half. With UTF getting the ball. After getting the first down, Jeremy was blocking from G, is sacked by Milo. The question is, did he miss? What do you think of the play?
And I think he just missed on this play right here. It came close. You have G blocking. He was able to just get around him. Unfortunately, I think he got away with one, because I think he didn't get both hands on Jeremy. But the fact that he was in the vicinity in the first place to make a play shows miscommunication between G and Jeremy. They're too close to each other. And all Malo has to do is make a specific effort to go after the quarterback, and he can get that sack there. He came close, but he just rewarded for the sack anyway, because Jeremy's out of position here. And they got to fix that. You cannot allow sacks to happen like this. And this is not something that your offense can afford to give up right
We've
here.
seen them go through that before, as Jeremy, I think, was one of the top sack quarterbacks in the league, with G blocking most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes because of Jeremy's movement in the pocket differently from Corey, sometimes he gets caught in sacks. I think this was close. G just says it's tired of refs givers credit for effort. And he's right. But I think it's exactly what you said. It was close, and when you have a guy as elusive as Jeremy and as a dominant blocker as G, it should never be close, and it was there. Second down, Jeremy with blocking from G, throws deep to Yomi on the sideline, high, incomplete. If you look here, Jeremy should have ran. I don't know why he keeps throwing bombs to Yomi, but he had the whole real estate here to run.
Yeah,
this is
and usually
running.
He would.
And you can tell that something is going on in this guy's head. I call him Josh Allen because he has a strong arm. He can move. He's good in the pocket. But this is what we've seen Josh Allen do recently. You got to take the field position when you get it. Take what they give you. He don't. It tries to make a play instead of taking a play they give him. And UTF can't get closer after that, and they're going to have to punt. That is a big stop by Street Fan. Lou gets the ball back. Lou with 2 passes in the gap for a nice game, getting to the 48-yard line. After getting the first down, Lou throws the ball in the gap for a decent game. 4th and goal. Lou with blocking from Spaz finds Brandon in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, and he gets an extra point. 14-0. Street fam, if you look here, Ja doesn't see Brandon right behind him. No one's talking on defense, and they give up another score. This is what I said happened last week. And this is coaching. I'm tired of Josh saying that he's a coach and these guys are not playing discipline. They're not communicating. That is all led by leadership. Ja, we saw him get mossed last week, but he was matched up against a guy, Cabby, who he should not be guarding.
Yeah.
Now we see he doesn't see Brandon right behind him. So it's less, you can't say it's the matchup. And on the other side, Spaz was the starting quarterback 2 weeks ago. He was the starting quarterback last week. He's blocking now and doing it well. 14-0. Lou's able to get his second touchdown pass of the day, and they take the 2-score lead over the Champs.
And whatever you got to win, and that's exactly what the Street Fan team is doing. The end of the game, you see Spaz able to step down at quarterback and able to block for Lou, giving him time to make that play for the touchdown. This is the way that you adjust to win. This is how champions make decisions to do what they have to for the team to win. So it seems like Street Fam is playing more like the champions and UTF is playing more like the losers. That's how it looks right now. It's opposite day right now. And that's why Street Fam has the lead right now.
Jeremy gets the ball back. On first down, he's going to throw to Yomi on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. 3rd and goal. Jeremy finds Dev in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Yomi gets a 2-point conversion, 14-8. UTF finally scores with 2 minutes left in the game.
Regardless of what, they took what the defense gave them finally, and they're able to get into the end zone. This Street Fam team is not easy to score on, but they find a way to do it with 2 minutes left. Will they have enough time to get anything done? I don't know, but at least they didn't get shut out, because that would have been something we would have killed them for.
After getting the first down, Lou throws deep to Brandon, open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, ending the game 20-8. Street Fam, if you look here, both Juice and Gaga are guarding Shannon, leading Brandon wide open, and Street Fam comes away with the huge win, the upset win.
And the crazy thing is, you see Shannon on this play, he's hyped. He's hyped because they've been working, they've been doing their best, to keep this team afloat. Now they got a quarterback that can help this team score. And Shannon doesn't have to have everything, he doesn't have to carry so much weight now. Now he's able to be a decoy and get other people open. As you see on this play here, you have 2 defenders following Shannon. One of them, Juice, who has been talking back and forth with Shannon throughout the game. And now he draws the attention away from the receiver that already got a touchdown early in the game, and Brandon and Lou is able to find him for the score. The funny thing is, this team was trying to do whatever they could to force the first down. They want to get the ball back and all of that. This team got the first down anyway and is able to end the game with a bomb. This is not a good look for this UTF team at all. Their defense did not look good. The offense couldn't score. This team is in trouble. Not to say that this is going to be a constant thing, but they need to figure out what's going on, because they cannot afford what's going on these first 2 weeks here to spill over next week. They have to discuss this and discuss it right away.
We're going to go to our interview with Street Fam, and then we'll come back and I'll wrap it up. Stephen J here with Street Fam with the upset win over 20-8. Upset. Would you call it an upset?
Based off our first 2 weeks and how they was talking, yeah, it's an upset, but we know how we gonna rock now, so they ain't gonna want to face us later. But go ahead.
They upset.
Yeah, they upset. They upset.
You've been saying wait until they see us with our whole squad. You had faith in the team the whole season, even though y'all were 0-2. What was the mindset behind that?
Well, whether we was gonna have Spaz or anybody else, we was gonna have faith with the whole team, because that's what we gonna do. We ain't no quitters. Everybody here's a dog, so we just gonna dog out. So we found out we got Lou. We just extra hard, bro. That's what it is.
B-Roy, your defense been playing great all season, 8 points this game. A lot of good teams figure when they play you, they were going to try to bully y'all. Yeah, well, what do you think on the defense side of the ball?
As long as we play hard, we're not getting bullied by nobody. We're not going to lay down for nobody. That's it.
Spaz, you was a starting quarterback. You came to tight end, made a few catches, some key blocks. What made you change your mindset to go to block and let Lou throw?
I've been gone for a minute. I had to do what was best for the team. We got a hell of a team.
So I had to do what was best for the team and bench myself and bring somebody else that has been playing for a longer time than I have.
Was this the team you were talking about when you joined the league? You said, when I get my squad, when they see who I got, they're going to be surprised. Is this what you was talking about?
Yeah, man. Proof is in the pudding. Regardless, this was the whole squad or whatever, we got dogs ready to ball out. And that's it.
Sha, you just beat the defending champions. What would that say about your team?
We're gonna win, bro. Everybody doubted us and all
You
that.
know how
Bro,
we
gonna
coming, man.
win.
You know how we coming.
We coming to ball. Everybody thought we were gonna be trash because Spaz or whatever. We made the decision as a team. We brought a new quarterback in, and look, they can't score.
Did you throw your hat in the ring as far as championship? Run the championship. Did you not throw your hat in the ring?
Jay, stop. Jay, what are we talking about here, bro? We're gonna bowl. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna show out. We just coming every week to prove that we're gonna bowl.
I guarantee you, they're not gonna face in the playoffs, and I guarantee you, they took all now. They know how we all rock individually.
Thank you, fellas. Shout to those guys. They definitely deserve this. I'll talk about Street Fam first. Listen, this team came in 0-1. 0-2, I'm sorry. And shout to Spaz. The guy said it, and he wasn't ready. He came back too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And he stepped it up, gave it to Lou. I mean, that's not a bad thought to pass it to a guy who's been to 2 consecutive back-to-back championships, been to 3 Final Fours in a row, 1 MVP of the league. That's not bad to pass on the helm to him. This team is dangerous. This defense is very good. UTF did not score until 2 minutes left in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
That means they went 0 for 4 before that. First of all, you got to put down their defensive captain, B-Roy. This is what the draft was all about.
Yeah.
The draft was being able to get these top players to play on teams that they would never play with and make them better. Well, you got to take your hat off to the leader of the defense. You got to take your hat off to Jay, who joined this team. You got to take your hat off to the guy who came out of retirement, Herbie, to play with this team. You got to take your hat off to Shannon, who people looked at and felt sorry for getting drafted to this team.
Mm.
And you put that all together, and you got to win over the defending champs. Street Fam don't have to win another game for the rest of the season. This is the game we're all going to remember.
I wouldn't go that far. I think that they do need to still win.
No.
They need to show that they can compete. I get what you're saying, though.
There is no win that they can have this season that will be bigger than
That'll
this.
be bigger than this.
Because it was against the defending champs. It was with Lou getting his first start of the season.
Yeah.
This was their biggest win. They get no bigger than that than winning a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean.
I got you.
That team.
Yeah.
On the other side, UTF is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Am I worried about the loss? No, because we seen them win 5 in a row, and then I think they lost 3 straight. I think they lost 3 straight where they didn't score, if I recall. So I'm not worrying about this team on that aspect. I'm worrying on this team with, I seen them arguing. I seen them yelling at each other. And let me tell you something, what my grandfather, one of the sayings my grandfather said. If a man is not careful, right?
Mm-hmm.
He will fall victim to the same thing that made him successful. A drug dealer making money on the street, falls victim, goes to jail, gets murdered. A race car driver makes his money speeding around the track. You can get killed doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that made UTF successful is becoming their downfall now. The chaos, the arguing, and you brung in guys, Juice, Twan, Ja, who wasn't a part of that, winning last year. And all these players was on the most dysfunctional team in the league, which was Sharks. They were the most talented team, but they were the most dysfunctional team. So that's the issues. And then you see what? We've seen the Sharks break up. So you meaning you brought those guys with personalities into your camp when you already had Josh, Jeremy going through it with the guys, Gaka, Sauce, whatever you want to, he want to call his name. No disrespect to my respect that he loves life, but I don't know why Kaka's playing. He's not giving me anything at all. This guy was a championship MVP, not giving me anything at all. I didn't even notice he was here. Now, I'm not going to kill Jeremy because he lost his best weapon in Mamba, who wasn't here. But Puto has to stand at the head of the table and say, listen, this is not going to work. Now, their defense did make some stops. But when I look at it, they stopped Street Fam twice. They made him punt, and they made Lou throw interception. So this team did make stops defensively, but they got to get a little better. And they need to have somebody sit down and be the leader. And now the situation with Jeremy is out of hand. Now, you know what's the difference? No Randy this season. You know what's the difference? And people may not even say it. Flo is not on the sideline. I mean, we can say whatever we want, but at least the team last year looked like they were on the same page. They don't look like that. From Jeremy getting suspended to them looking completely lost on that game he was suspended to him coming back and only scoring a touchdown. This team is in dire issue, and nobody expects this team to repeat. And it's only on their own undoing. It's them causing them this. And their draft pick. They drafted Akon, which I told you I will still believe that that was a horrible pick. I believe that they should have drafted Cabby. I will say it until we get to the championship. They should have drafted Cabby because his ability to not only stretch the field, but the fact that he brings so much attention to him opens it up for Mamba. Now, we heard that they thought Bones was going to play on the team, but that's management. That's leadership. I think this team's in trouble. And there is no signs of hope coming because you can't make a leopard change his stripes. So I think the league is more competitive, and the games that they stole last year, they're not going to steal this year.
My thing is, this team still has the talent to win the championship. Regardless of what you think, they still have the talent to win the championship. But the dysfunction they cannot afford to have that happen.
Why is Swan on the sideline on defense?
Yeah.
Why? The guy's a former rookie of the year. This guy makes plays. He made an all-star game. Why is this guy on the sideline? I don't understand it.
And you're talking about Twan, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you this. There were points in the game where he was arguing with the offense when they were calling him in, when they were ready to call him in. So my thing is, yes, they had him on the sideline, but I'm not going to defend him here. He was given issues back and forth as well when they called him in. Listen, sometimes you got to wait until your name is called. They may have a strategy going on or whatever. You may not agree with it or whatever, but when they call you in, they need you. When you give them back and forth, it's not helping anybody. So that's another thing that they were dealing with. So the dysfunction cannot be afforded moving forward. They cannot have this. They cannot afford to have this happen anymore. They have to look stronger moving forward. They have to communicate better. They have to give better effort. Because if not, it'll be the worst thing in the world for a team like them to fall by the wayside and come playoff time.
This team is dysfunctional. That's at the end of the day. And you have a lot of guys that's worrying about their own reputation and their own numbers than the team. And guess what? They come in this week. You know who they play this week? The Monarchs, the first place team in the division. You don't think they're looking for some payback after they beat them in the Final Four last year and they beat them in the regular season last year?
Yep.
Let's see what happens. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to release some breaking news before we wrap it up. Street Fam's first-round draft pick, Shannon, former offensive player of the year, was injured in a tackle game, hurt his ankle, and he's out indefinitely.
Wow.
Shannon is in a soft cast for 2 weeks. Then he goes back for x-rays. He said it could possibly be the rest of the season. He'll be back by playoffs. I think he's done for the year. I think he won't make it for the playoffs. The ankle's very, very sensitive. And Shannon's whole game is based on his speed.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he comes back, I don't think he's going to be 100%. I think his season's over. And I think this is a huge blow for this team that had just started making identity. Don't get me wrong. That other issue is that all of their top players are under 5'6".
Yeah.
In Shy, in Bo, and in Shannon. But now arguably your best player out of the trio is hurt possibly for the year. That is a huge blow for this team.
Yes. And obviously, you know, he was just starting to get in, you know, he was getting hyped with the team. You know, he was, you know, actually feeling like he was a part of the team. You know, he was actually speaking for the team. He was actually, you know, strategizing with them. He was getting involved. That's to show that he was, you know, he was enjoying being there. And it sucks that he's not able to continue that moving forward with his injury or whatever. You know, our hearts, you know, our heart and prayers go out to him for a speedy recovery. But Street Fam has to do next man up. You know, it's a good thing that right when it happened, they have somebody that can pick up some of that slack and bowl, that can be a weapon in gaps. You know, has a similar play style, not exactly the same as Shannon, but is able to play two ways as well. So having him makes an even bigger impact now. It's even more important.
They need to bring the rest of that grind time core. They need a Jigga.
Mm-hmm.
They need a Jalen. They need a White Bread. They need those guys. But the question is Street Fam willing to go on the side and share the reins with this team?
Yeah.
That is going to be the key for them in the playoffs, making a championship run. If they allow Lou to get the rest of that grind time, you know, I like to call it the Guardians of the Galaxy crew, to bring to this Street Fam team, you have a championship team. But you got to get Jigga. You got to get Jalen. You got to go get E-Rock, who can block.
Yeah.
Smash can go out as tight end. White Bread. You got to get that core. If you get that core and put more of your pride to the side, this is a championship team. While they wait for Shannon to come back.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll wrap this one up. Street Fam with the win, 20-8. Over the defending champs UTF. We'll be right back.